So, yes, today is April 4, 2025, and right now we are sitting here at the front yard and overlooking that view over the prairies across us. And it's really a perfect day for sunbathing. I'm actually sunbathing right now. So, anyway, I decided to reflect onto something that I am struggling with and on my drive home earlier today, I just had my final exams on one of my courses. And on my drive home, I was a little bit gloomy because it's one of those days because sometimes we don't really control our humanness. Like for me, comparing myself to others, like what am I doing right now? Is it benefiting me? And why are they like that? And I am like this, and all that negative stuff. So, as I was um, as I was sitting here today with this beautiful sunshine shining on me, and um, I just uh, I just made a realization that what I should talk to myself, helping me out to tackle this challenge that myself is struggling with, right? So um, for us, like people, I think it's our humanness that is uh, making us feel this way, because I'm sure everybody has their own struggles with comparing themselves. I don't know, but for me, I have that feeling like sometimes, right? Especially if I see somebody who is doing fine and I am not, and I am struggling and they are not, and sometimes I feel like life is unfair. But as I am sitting here today, I was like, you know what? No, I shouldn't be thinking this way, because if I keep on comparing myself to others, who will benefit it? So I was looking at the book and I'm reading it, and I'm just going to read it. I'm going to read it. I will read it verbally. I mean, um, how do I say that? I will just read it loudly, so it will stick in my mind, right? So in order for me to get out of what s- I am in, like sometimes, yeah, I really do struggle with this one. So I'm reading this book and I'm going to reflect on it, and I will just read it loudly. So at least it will penetrate my brain, right? So, yeah, because this is not good. It is not good to compare. So I'm reading a book called Stop Comparing Yourself to Others. So yeah, just like what I'm saying today, that I am beginning to compare again myself to other people, and I'm looking at them like, oh, why are they like this and I am like this, and it's not fair to be in this situation where people like them are not in the same situation with me. So yeah, so those feelings that sometimes get me, and I can't help myself, even if I keep on telling myself, it's not good to compare yourself. Still I feel that sometimes there are times that I just feel that, right? So today I'm going to read this book. I mean, it's not really a book. This is my notes that I heard from a podcast from long time ago. That if I am starting to compare myself, I go back to it and reflect on it. So, but today, as I am reading it, and I would like to just verbally read it loudly, so at least I'll be able to um, hoping that it will just stick into my brain, right? So here we go. So yeah, it says here, my note says, stop comparing yourself to others. Like, yeah, so sometimes we just look at other people and we think like, oh, she is they are happier, they are fitter, and here I am getting weight, and I am dumb, they are not, and all that bad stuff, right? That you look into yourself, and then um in order for that to in order for you to be feeling better, your brain will try to look into the other people's lives, and you'll start criticizing them, which is not good. You are start criticizing them just so you make yourself slightly better, right? But it's not good. It doesn't last that long. Even if you keep on criticizing them and making yourself better, your happiness, or I mean your contentment doesn't last long. And yeah, it is just not a good feeling, right? Because then here comes your depression, anxiety sinks in, and now you're already dissatisfied with yourself, and then now your jealousy is starting to build up, and narcissism is already getting into your head, and all this perfectionism and overspending to keep up with what you think they are buying that makes them look good, and you would think that that will also makes you feel better, right? So yeah, I'm seeing here that comparison always let us down. So at the end of the day, like, comparing always let us down. So now it says here that why is it that comparison always let us down? It says here in my notes that comparison is not based in reality. Yeah, let's look into it. Selective focus is a blind spot. Like, yeah, we are selecting what we are looking into ourselves, and what we are looking into somebody's life, right? And we are highlighting negative about ourselves, and we are ignoring our positive sides, right? And we're only focusing only to the negative that confirms our belief. Like, I am looking at this person, and I will be thinking like, oh my, he is so much better than me, and he is smart, and he gets everything that it's he gets everything that's being taught to them, and his life must be perfect, right? That's the way of thinking that we are going. And yeah, maybe it is on the outside, right? But not knowing that his real life is not like that. Maybe they are also like looking for attention, because some people who are also like exerting good on the outside is only looking for an attention, because sometimes in their own family they don't have they don't get those attention, right, from their loved ones. So they try to excel in other areas so they can also get attentions from other people that sometimes they don't know, right? Because yeah, so and now here I am looking at those um perfections, and I will just be focusing onto that without knowing what's really behind that, right? So that is not good. That is not good. So it says here on my notes that we only see and know people on the outside. Our judgments are often false and superficial, so we are making ourselves miserable by comparing our real life, which we know all the details, to those people who show on the outside. And you don't really know what's their life in the inside. Like, we are looking at these celebrities that they are so perfect, they look so proper, they look so, I mean, not proper, but they look so glamorous, and they seem to be like in their perfect self, like they figured out together, because they look so pretty, they look handsome, and they just look perfect. But really, in the inside, they are not. They are also craving for that attention that they are not getting from their own family, right? So we are just only focusing on to those stuff that we know, but we don't we don't really see the inside of their heart, right? And we keep on comparing ourselves to those kind of people, and we look at ourselves. I'm like, man, why I'm so like this and they are like that, without even knowing that they also are struggling. It's just that on that aspect they look good, they look perfect, but really in reality we are all the same, who are also struggling. So says here that we shouldn't be comparing ourselves like that. So how could we overcome those, right? When we get into those points in our lives, like we already start comparing ourselves to others, and we are focusing on the negative part of ourselves, and just like feeling this annoying, like jealousy to some people who are thriving better than us, like you think they are thriving better than us. And it says there in my notes that how to overcome this. We have to catch ourselves. We have to write down, it says here that we have to write down situations where you often most compare yourself to others, right? And write that down, and remind ourselves that thoughts aren't real. Sometimes my comparison are usually false, and selective filtering makes me highlight their good and my bad. Yeah, like what I am saying earlier, like if you are only focusing onto what you are looking from the inside, from the outside, that's what you're focusing, and really you are comparing that to yourself. And no, they are not perfect. Like inside themselves, they are also struggling onto something one way or another. So let's just not focus on the outside. We have to focus on ourselves, that we know ourselves, right? We know ourselves, so we have to remind ourselves that we should not be comparing, we should not be looking at their best, because yeah, they are showing that they are best, but you see, you don't know the inside of them, right? But in us, we know our inside, we know what we are also struggling. So you just have to like settle your mind and just catch yourself, like why am I so why am I comparing myself? Write it down. As I was doing it earlier, I said, why am I comparing myself to them? Why? So I have to focus onto that reason why I am comparing myself, and later on, like it really makes sense, right? Because really, comparing, like if you look at your focuses, if you just compare yourself, no, don't focus onto that. And sometimes also it says here that comparison will always let you down. Yeah, it's true, because once you start comparing yourself, you just get sadder and sadder, and more depressed. And you know if we compare ourselves to others, we are allowing others and the things outside of us to determine our worth, right? And it's not good, because then even if you are a very good person, and then you start comparing yourself to other person, and you are just like um you are overlooking yourself, because you don't see yourself as being good. And we know that we have good in ourselves, right? But then we are focusing on the negative. That's why our strength is not being uplifted, because we are only focusing onto the negative ones, right? So it says here, our goodness is based on our values, not on comparison. So when we catch ourselves comparing, we have to ask ourselves, what does it say about what I really value? So what is it really? So if she is so bright, or she is so popular, or she is getting too much attention, and you will ask yourself, do I value getting a lot of attention? I mean, do I value a lot of people to like me? Is that what I value, right? Or do I value being confident internally? So we really have to look down what we really want in life, right? Because then if we are just only comparing ourselves, because those people we are looking at are just like they are they are so popular, they get it, like they seems to be really good at what they do, right? But in ourselves, we will ask ourselves, do I value being also people to like me? Yeah, maybe, but Do I also value being confident internally? Yeah. Yeah, even if I don't have that too much attention directing on me, if I am confident on myself, I feel better, right? So, and we also have to ask ourselves, if we start comparing ourselves looking other people who is perfect all the time, and you also ask yourself, do I value looking perfect all the time, or getting physically healthy, right? That is the thing. Like, yeah, even if you are perfect, if you are not healthy in the inside, what's the point of being perfect if you are rotten in the inside, right? So those are the focus that we have to switch our brain to if we will start comparing ourselves and catch ourselves comparing to that, right? So yeah, and it says here again, do I value putting other down or just building myself up? Yeah, because if we start comparing, you will look at those people, and then you will try to you try to what's the term, criticize them too, so that you will make yourself better, right? So, and then if you are uh, into that moment, we have to ask ourselves, what do I value more? Do I value putting others down, or I value more about building myself up, right? So it's kind of like building yourself, right? So what do you really value more? And then now it says here in my notes that we have to shift our attention away from competition as our goal and focus on what we really care about, right? So really, you don't need to compete with other people because they have this, they have that, and they have more, and we have less. No, we just have to focus on what we really like to build on ourselves, right? So, and it says here in my notes that instead of comparing ourselves to others, let's channel our energy into personal growth, creativity, and pursuits that bring us joy and fulfillment, right? So if you are so if you are so annoyed about, you compare yourself, why they have this, why are they having that, and look at yourself, like self reflect and see, like, what would I like to do in the future? Do I also like to have this? And then you have to work for it. If you are so if you are not happy with what you have, like, maybe it's time for you, I mean, for me, I'm not happy for what I am right now because I'm gaining weight. Maybe it's already time for me to head to the gym and start working out again, so I can get that confidence in myself that I'm not getting fat, right? So now I have also to see, like, why are they, like, I look at other people and said, why are they so happy? Like, what is it that I am missing in my life that makes me feel sad, makes me compare myself to them? So if I'm looking at them and they're like, oh, they're happy with their job, so maybe it's time for me also to, like, look for another job. I know it's hard if you've been doing your job for many years, but then if you are not happy with it, well, I guess it's time for us to look for another job, right? Even if it's put us down, but that's initial. When we work hard, we get what we are aiming for, right? We will get our goal, right? So yeah, and it says in my notes that we have to focus our energy on being who we want to be, right? So if we want to get fitter, if you see this person that, man, she looks so nice, she looks so perfect, and me, I'm just getting so fat, then you know what, I'm just gonna uh, funnel that energy, and, like, you know what, today I'm going to start working out, so I will also have a good fit physical body, right? So that is what where we're gonna channel. So example, it says here, instead of looking up or looking down to somebody like our neighbor who we think has it all, let's say to ourselves that, what do I really care about? What is important to me? And I want to be a good person, a good friend, or I want to be a hard worker, or I want to be more affectionate to my family, and I'm going to focus on that instead of putting other people up or down. So yeah, so like what I'm saying is, we just have to channel our energy and look at what we are doing, and 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 reflect on it, and then just focus on to what we want to achieve in our lives, right? What would be our goal, and write those goals, and then um uh like make a move to make a move to get into that goal, to get that goal, right? So you just have to work for it. You work for it. So it says here again that number 2, comparison leads to isolation and drama. Yeah, of course, because if there is not enough to go around, so I've got to put myself in competition with everyone else to survive. Like, there is a lot of things to do here on earth. There's a lot. You just have to find the things that you like to do, like you enjoy, right? And it is like putting ourselves at war with everyone, of course, because if you are looking at yourself, competing yourself to others, it's kind of like putting ourselves at war with everyone else. And it's like the crabs in a bucket. Yeah, the crab mentality. If someone else starts climbing up, we've got to pull them down, and then we will be all stagnant in one area, and nobody is just like going up, right? Who benefits from making us all feel like life is a competition? Nobody will benefit from it. It's just that if I do that to my life, I just keep on getting sadder and sadder, right? Yeah, so our belief in competition is not good. So it says here that they choosing to make our life about something else is an act of what- yeah, it says here that healthy people build a world of abundance and cooperation instead of scarcity and competition. And that's what we're aiming for, right? We should be healthy people. We should be healthy not just in our mind, but not just in our physical health, but also in our mental health, right? And it says here that we have to leave someone who does not, because praising someone does not really cost anything to us, right? Like when someone else suffers a loss, mourn with them. When someone is happy, be happy with them. And when someone else is successful, get excited for them, learn from them. And there's actually enough happiness to go around. So happiness is not a limited resources, and there's enough excitement for everyone. If we can just focus onto that and stop comparing ourselves to people, I'm sure we would be able to reach that goal, love, right? And love, it says here, is a renewable resource. The more you give, the more you have. So if he can be a hard worker, and so can I, right? So why will I compete to somebody who is in that, if I can also do something else that makes me feel happy? Why do I need to compare myself to somebody if I can also like make my way to reach, to actually achieve my goal, right? So there is enough success to go around. The world is abundant, especially in all the things that brings us happiness. And really, um that the things that make us happy are simple things, right? Because at the end of the day, for me anyways, things that really makes me happy are my family, right? So why would I be like working onto this, like this this career, or these clothes that I wear? Yeah, it will make you feel happy, maybe in a short period of time, but at the end of the day, things that really matters is your family, right? So if you feel stuck, it says here that when you are kind to someone else, you don't run out of kindness. It's true, right? It you reap that happiness, because there's no such money to uh, replicate that happiness, to buy that happiness. If you did something good with your neighbor or with your friend or anything, no amount of money can suppress that, right? It's different. So because when you are kind, it grows inside of you, right? And then it just, yeah, it makes you feel like human again. So if you feel stuck comparing yourself to others, you could try to shift out of the mindset by counting your blessings. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I was doing this today when I was driving here, and I start comparing myself to others. And you know what? You know, I should stop this, and I should just start counting my blessing, because if I count it, it's there is no way I feel so ripped off, because my blessings are so abundant that 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 should I should be focusing on that, right? That's what I was telling myself when I was driving earlier, because yeah, comparing is not good. Comparing is not good. So it says here, to summarize this one, it says here in my notes that recognize our distorted thinking. If we start, if we catch ourselves comparing, we have to sit down and reflect and try to recognize our distorted thinking and remind ourselves that comparison won't make us happy. So, yes, at the end of the day, if you compare yourself every time, it will just makes you sadder and depressed. So, and then thirdly, it says here, we should redirect our attention to our values. So, who do I want to be? What do I really care about? And who do I really care about, right? So, do I care about being so popular? No. Do I care about being so pretty? No, I don't really care if I look like puffy sometimes. No. So those are the ones that we're going to reflect on, right? So instead of comparing ourselves to the public side of people, we start to see people in a more real way. We will see their gifts and their flaws, but we aren't using them anymore, right? Because we now, if we put our mind like that, then we can see the reality of, yeah, people, this person has this, yeah, but also they also have flaws like us, right? So not anyone is perfect. We have our own strength, and we have also our own weaknesses. So don't focus onto their strength and focus on your weaknesses, no, because then you start feeling bad. When we compare, we're using their personhood for the selfish purpose of determining our own goodness. That's true, because you're comparing. Then you will tell, like, oh, even if they have that, they also have this, and I have that, right? So it's not, you're not really going anywhere there. So instead of competing with them, we can actually connect with them. We stop comparing and we start connecting, yeah, and then we make friends, right? As we start to really see people, we can start to see ourselves clearly as well. And suddenly, we can actually love ourselves too. That is very true. Once you already know that, you already make peace with yourself, that you know what, I should not compare myself to her or to them, because you see, even if they have those, I also have this. And I have my own strength and I have my own weaknesses, and I know that they all have that too. So maybe they are good at that. And also, I know that there are also like goodness in me. So I will not start degrading myself again, because I can see them better, right? So, yeah. So I hope that uh this this reflection is this reflection is helping me. So yeah, so whenever, like today, I just have to go back to my notes and remind myself that no, comparing is not really healthy. It's not. Even if you think that, yeah, it makes, sometimes comparing makes you like f- good for yourself, because you can see their weaknesses, and you are just looking at your strength and their weaknesses, or their strength and your weaknesses. But at the end of the day, you know what, it's not at all healthy, because then you are just making competition, and it's competition is not really healthy if you compete that way, right? If it's just makes you sadder and depressed, and uh make yourself less as a person, right? So yeah, I just have to work on it more. It's just one of those days that I have to sit down and reflect on what I really value in life. So this is not what I really aiming for. I want to be happy. I want to be healthy, and comparing myself to others doesn't help me with my goals. It just makes me feel sad and depressed. So why would I be comparing myself to them, right? So this is what I'm reflecting on. So yeah, that's just my reflections today, looking at those prairie goodness over there. It's very nice today. It's there's a little bit of wind. Actually, I'm just wearing my tank top and not even shoes. So it's actually good. I feel so relaxed here on the front yard, and looking at the prairies right there. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful day to reflect and remind myself that comparing is not good. It just it I can't benefit from it. It just makes me feel bad and sad and depressed. So there's no point comparing. There is no point. So yeah, let's just be happy, and let's just focus onto our goals and lift one another, right? You just have to lift one another and stop looking at their weakness or my weakness and their strength and my strength. Um every person, every people has their own weaknesses. That's why we are all their own weakness and their own strength. That's why we're all different, right? So, and with our weakness and strength, if we could just work together, and then we will be all happy, right? It's yeah, life is good. Life is good. We just have to focus onto the good side of life, right? And stop entertaining those negative vibes that's coming into our mind. Like today, I was like, no, no, I don't want to focus on that. I just want to focus on myself, on what I really like, and what do I really value in life, and that's what I'm aiming for. And never mind the rest. We are going to be a healthier, not just physical, but also for mental health. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice to reflect once in a while. And with this weather, man, it's just beautiful out here. Soon I will be all like brown again. Yeah, this winter just makes me look like pale as paper. So I'm getting a good color, so that's good. And the sun is nice and warm. Beautiful day, beautiful. Yeah, one of those days that I just wanna sit and reflect on to what I wanna do. And yeah, that prairie there is just so peaceful. You can see far and wide, and yeah, the wind is just like little breeze that touches your skin, and it's just so perfect. It's a perfect day. I feel like spring has arrived, and yeah, fun times, fun times.